Today, we're going to be heading back to 1982 and my childhood. Come on in and I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. All right, welcome back to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. If you're new to the channel, it's good to have you. I appreciate you stopping by and giving me a chance. And if you're a returning viewer, you know it's good to have you, and I appreciate you coming back each time to join me and check out my 3 3/4 inch action figures, full-size helmets, and the couple of other things that sometimes I like to make videos on as well. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. For those of you who may have followed my channel for any amount of time, you're probably aware that I am a modern collector. That means I don't have any vintage things. As a matter of fact, the oldest item I have right now is a Yoda figure from the Power of the Force line from back in the 90s. And that's about as old as it gets. And even then, I didn't purchase that. It was a gift from my brother. Thanks, Al. Recently, however, Christmas came a little early to the Paul's Collectibles household. A friend of mine named Todd owns a business that rehabilitates abandoned properties and things of that nature. And frequently he finds items in these properties that either have no owner anymore or that the owners simply don't want and ask him to dispose of. He finds a lot of cool things, but this time he ran across this. Right? That's a 1982 Empire Strikes Back Snowspeeder. And he said as soon as he saw it, he immediately thought of me, and I was totally flattered. He's not a big collector, so he said he thinks it should come here to Paul's Collectibles, where it will get a good home and will be appropriately and properly displayed. Thanks, Todd. So with that, we're going to take a look, open up this box, see what's inside. Todd said it's in really good condition inside, but the box was a little torn up. So we'll get it out on the table, spread it out, see what's in there, and have a look. So come on with me while we take a trip back to 1982.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection, its new Rebel Armored Snowspeeder. Batteries not included.
You got my message!
C-3PO and Rebel Soldier action figures each sold separately.
We'll get you to safety. The Empire forces! We've got to escape!
Snowspeeder has laser guns with sound and light action.
Got 'em! Back to the Rebel base!
Rebel Armored Snowspeeder from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection. You have to put it together. Action figures each sold separately. New from Kenner.
Okay, first of all, let's check out the box. Look at that. That is the original picture from the 1980s. There's the old figures, some of the older figures you could get from back in the day. Guy riding a Tauntaun, and look at this. At some point, somebody only wanted $8.99 for that. That's amazing. So if we look, the box is pretty ratted out, and Todd warned me about that. He said it had taken quite a bit of damage. The exterior of the box, there's a huge rip here and it's all ratted out and mauled up, but hey, what do you expect? 1982, can you believe that? On the other side, there's no price tag or anything like that. It's just that actual picture. Look at that. There's a R2-D2 with his scope up and the old medical droid. That's just a trip to the past. And this is back when that Kenner logo meant it actually was from Kenner. They're not just making that up like they do on the vintage collection. But with that, let's get inside and see what we have inside this thing. I want to be very careful with it. All right off the bat, look at that. The Empire Strikes Back Rebel Armored Snowspeeder. It's still got the old instructions on how to put it together and everything. That is shocking to me. Wow, let's take a look at that. Up here it talks about where the batteries go, where to put all the labels or decals. Over here it talks about the laser cannons. Look at these really in-depth drawings too. That's just impressive if you ask me. It tells you how to set up the harpoon. And on the back, how to do the landing struts and the cockpit canopy and all that really cool stuff. And I love down here they've added some figures. The snowtroopers look like they're raiding the guys that are inside this and telling them to get out. That's pretty cool. So check it out. It actually still has the old instruction sheet. Next in this box, we'll pull out the interior. Wow, look at that. The original decal sheet. Every one of them seems to be here too. me get that right side up. There's all the numbers on them, and every one of them is still here, and it's still really pliable. I bet if I took those off, I could probably put those on the actual vehicle and set it up for display. That's amazing. All the vehicles. Lucasfilm Limited, 1980. Now the side of the box said 1982, so we're gonna go with 1982. These were obviously made in 1980. Next up, look at this. Every one of the vehicle pieces is in here, looks like. There's parts of the engine, there's the rear exhaust ports for the engine, the little harpoon gun is in here. Look at that, they even still have the string from 1982 in there. Both of the guns are in here. This is just absolutely shocking to me. I cannot believe it. This seems to be in its original seal too. Wow, the tape on it has yellowed significantly. That's just absolutely amazing. Next up, the body of the ship. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It is still anchored in the cardboard that it came in. So if we just set it right there, you can see all of the details on this ship from this 1982. That is still shocking to me. That's just amazing. The plastic is still in there. Oops, yeah, I gotta be careful. There's like pieces falling off of it where it's starting to dry rot. Let's see if this opens up. Sure does, look at that. Let me see if I can put this plastic window back in here. Wow, it's like messing with an antique almost. But look at that. The interior of the ship is still in good shape. The windows around the cockpit are still in good shape. Everything looks like it's exactly where it should be. The battery compartment. Look at that. The battery compartment isn't corroded. It still has the original piece of paper to tell you how the batteries go in. That's just amazing. Put that back on. What does that say? On the bottom, 087CN3, Charles North 3. Wonder what that means. Well, regardless, we'll put that back in there. Let's look at the undercarriage. Look at that. The old landing gear still works. And you can set it down just like that. And after putting it together, putting all the decals on it, you'd be right back in business if you wanted to be. Look at that. That's just an amazing find. So there you have it. All of the pieces that came in that box from 1982. The box itself, eaten up condition, but everything else inside, except for just a little bit of dry rotting and a fact that a little bit of the stickers aren't quite working like they're used to, is just an absolutely pristine condition. Comes with all its parts, the instruction manual, the stickers, decals, and everything you need to build this ship back to its original specification so it looks like what you see on the front of that box. Now the question is, of course, do I pack it back up, display it in its box, or do I try to get these stickers to stick on it and put all the pictures, or excuse me, put all the pieces on there and display it just like this? If you have some suggestions on that, let me know in the comments below. But regardless, thanks for joining me on this trip down memory lane to when I was a 10-year-old boy in 1980, playing on the snow-covered plains of Hoth with one of the coolest figures and one of the best ships that had come out in the entire Star Wars universe at that time. So, until next time, I wish you a happy collecting, and I'll see you on the next video.